Very good evening to all of you. Let us continue our understanding on different Scrum ceremonies. As you can see my screen, we have four major, ceremonies to understand. I'm pretty sure we did discuss this in earlier sessions, but now let us go in much more detail with what is the purpose, who are the attendees, and what are the tips and tricks of each individual ceremony. Okay, for
Yes.
your understanding, uh, Scrum ceremonies are core of the entire, I would say, actual implementation. Okay, on daily basis, we have some or the other ceremony happening. When I say on daily basis, stand up or stand-up meeting is one of the major important ceremonies that happens on daily basis. When prior to that, let us understand first and foremost and the most, I would say, pivotal or important ceremony, that is sprint planning. Okay, as you can see, ceremony name is sprint planning. Now, as the name suggests, we all come together in this ceremony to plan the sprint. Everybody with me? Sprint planning. The name is easy to understand. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now let us understand what is the purpose of this ceremony. Who are the attendees required for this, and what are the tips and tricks that we can follow or which might be helpful for us to execute this. Okay. Now we have three different people, or rather four different people. So can I request each one of you to read one point, starting with purpose? What is the purpose of the ceremony? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah, go
Purpose
ahead.
of sprint planning: create the sprint backlog and identify the sprint goal that the entire Scrum team is committing to over the course of the sprint.
Okay, thank you. So let us take a pause here. What are we saying? Create the sprint backlog. Okay. By now, you must have understood what is a product backlog. Anyone here doesn't know what is a product backlog? Ajibu Niti, Suchita Abhishek, or are you all aware about what is a product backlog?
Yes.
Yes, no, yes. Anybody here doesn't know what is a product backlog? Okay, let me still give you a refresher. So, product backlog is a set of all the requirements put together for the entire project duration, okay, as per the priority and sequence or order, I would say. From that, when we take out some of the requirements for each sprint, that is called as sprint backlog. Yes, makes sense?
Yes.
So for this particular sprint, we take out the work items or product backlog items and make them as or call them as sprint backlog. So out of per se, if imagine if we have 100 requirements, we take out 10 requirements for the sprint and we decide, okay, as a team, we will work on these 10 requirements. Okay, first and foremost. Next is the
The-
entire Scrum team is committing to, over the course of period of over the course of the sprint. So it's not only product owner or Scrum Master who are highlighting that these many, this Scrum, I would say, sprint backlog would be worked upon. No, as a team, as a development team, everybody together, confirms and commits that okay, we will be able to complete this. See, guys, remember, as a lead or as a representative, product owner and Scrum Master are at a very senior level. Okay, do have a very close connection with the team, but on practical grounds, your development team is the one, or as a collection, they are the people who actually work on the requirement. Hence, their confirmation, their commitment, and their okay or their yes is important, that okay, what all work will be completing. That's why we are saying we identify the sprint goal that the entire Scrum team is committing. Here, the entire Scrum team is very important because Scrum goal is not only decided by one or two people. Okay, so your entire Scrum. So imagine product owner is saying, okay, we'll complete this kind of work, or no, maybe 20 requirements in this upcoming sprint. But then as a development team, they will take a stand mentioning that no, we are not in a position to complete this many requirements. We will complete only 10 because see, they are the people who are working. I'm going very slow just to make you understand that this is a very practical and an important point, because when we overcommit, okay, it's very difficult to fulfill that, and then there are chaotic situation that we have to stretch timelines. Sometimes we have to stretch working hours, and we have to pull in extra resources. So to avoid all that, we have to ensure that the sprint goal is kind of committed or given after considering the entire scrum team. Everybody with me? Purpose?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Next person, who all are the attendees?
Tip and tricks. Encourage the team to
No,
discuss
no, wait,
and
wait, wait.
oh,
Who
okay.
are the attendees? Attendees.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, attendance. The entire Scrum team.
Okay. So we all understand that
Yes.
this ceremony needs to be attended by everyone, not only one person. Okay. Go ahead. Tips and tricks one by one. Three of you, I would request everyone who has not spoken till now, please unmute and please read the points. Yeah, go one by one.
I can go.
Encourage the team to discuss and negotiate each item related to the sprint goal. Sketching can be helpful.
Okay, let's go one by one. So what are we saying? That we are encouraging everyone to speak up, to talk during this meeting, and negotiate each item related to the spin. When we say negotiate, that means just now as we discussed, if we are overcommitting something, if we are, kind of trying to promise or trying to deliver more work in given period of time, which is not doable, the team has to step in and mention that okay, this much will not be possible, it will not be feasible. So that is important. Sketching can be helpful. Sketching is a way that we all do discussions. As the name suggests, how we sketch something on a piece of paper or on a board, same way we mention ideas one by one, and that is what it is called as sketching. That you given
Yes.
one idea, from that some other idea can come in, so that is called as sketching. So we are saying be innovative in this discussion, be creative, and ensure that everybody's ideas, everybody's opinions are considered. Yeah, next point. Yeah, somebody had said before. Yeah,
Yeah,
Niti, go ahead.
yeah. Ensure the product backlog has been ordered and completed by the product owner before the sprint planning begins.
Thank you, Niti. Now, this is a very important point. Okay, guys. We are saying that product backlog needs to be ordered and completed by the product owner before this meeting even begins. So, what are the prerequisites for this meeting to get started? That product owner has to complete this product backlog. When I say complete, this simply means that all the requirements must be part of this product backlog. Okay. Uh, we need to ensure that nothing is left out which was given by the customer or which was mentioned by the customer to be worked upon. If something is not in the product backlog, that simply doesn't exist. That simply isn't available. Okay. So definitely every requirement has to be a part of product backlog. Next point is it has to be ordered. So when we say it has to be ordered, that means it has to be ordered on the basis of priority. Highest or topmost point would be of highest priority and vice versa. Okay. So we may mention everything as per sequence. Let me check. Is there any point? No. So we have to ensure that highest priority requirement would be at the top, and so on. So lowest priority would be at the bottom, and we pick out items as per customer requirement and as per priority. Any doubt in this, guys? Easy to understand? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I take this yes for everyone. Now let's go to the second and the important ceremony. So it is called as daily scrum. I am pretty sure we have discussed this ceremony quite a few times during the course of our discussion, but let us understand in detail. So may I request someone to read the purpose of this meeting, please? Especially someone who has not read till now. Ajibu, can you read it, please?
Yeah, actually, we are still seeing sprint planning on the screen.
Yeah. We're still seeing the
Oh,
sprint
okay, my
planning.
bad. Okay,
Oh,
wait,
we
wait,
didn't
yeah,
read the
sorry.
last one. We didn't go through the
Okay.
last one, the third one.
Oh, we didn't go. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We didn't do this
That's
one, the
really
third
good,
one.
Ajibu. Yeah, so that's for you. Please, can you please read it out? I'll explain.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And
Yeah.
once the sprint goal is set, it can be broken by the product owner, but should remain relevant throughout the course of the sprint.
Yeah. So now, thank you for reading it out and thank you for mentioning this. So what are you saying? Once the sprint goal is set, once as a development team, everybody together decides what needs to be worked upon, once we confirm on that, it can be broken by product owner, but should remain relevant throughout the course of the sprint. So broken means, see, sprint goal would generally mean some functionality, or I would say a set of requirements that put together will create some sense or create some flow in the application. Like we will not give only one web page or one login page as a sprint goal. No, that is too, I would say, small of it was a very small product goal or sorry sprint goal, or it is very I would say not significant. So sprint goal would be something that is substantial, that we have completed some requirements, some flow, some segment of the I would say actual product. So it needs to be substantial, that the customer would come and feel, oh great, we have completed this, okay, we have deliver the organization has delivered this much to us. So as a customer also you feel good, right? So for that, first of all, development team confirms, and then imagine if it is pretty big, like there are multiple functionalities are involved, like understand we are completing payment gateway, Amazon, like how you end up and ultimately uh, pay on delivery or pay online, or in India we have pay by UPI, like multiple options in UPI. So for all that, if your if your I'm sorry, if your sprint goal is pretty big, we have to ensure that we are as a product owner can break it, means can make it into pieces or can make it into smaller requirements or smaller units, and we deliver that each effectively. Like when I say payment gateway, it is not only one thing, right? First of all, we have to create a page where we accept the details. Like if we are taking credit card, we have to write validation for that. If we are asking for cash on delivery, there'll be some other confirmation. If you're saying other internet banking, there should be any other mode of validation, that okay, is your bank listed in the given banks, or if your account active or whatnot, so all these things would require multiple level of activities to be completed. It's not only a single or easy development. That's why the sprint goal is broken into multiple parts or multiple pieces, and then what are we saying, though we break it down because it's a bigger requirement or it's a collection of requirements, it should be relevant throughout the course of sprint. That means That doesn't mean that you take some item from the next sprint, or that, or some item which is irrelevant to the sprint goal. Today, as now we are discussing about payment gateway being a sprint goal, we cannot come and say, okay, we have to create login, or okay, we have to create a home page, or maybe we have to create and create a video for promotion of the application on home page, right? So it needs to be relevant. Everybody with me on this?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Good, good. Okay, super. And let us go to the next point. Okay. So as we have already discussed a couple of times, a daily stand-up or daily scrum is one of the most essential, absolutely effective and core of, I would say, the implementation of Scrum in day-to-day life. Okay. I think we have already spoken or discussed a lot. So we'll breeze through this. So may I request someone to read the purpose? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I can proceed with the purpose. The purpose of the daily
Yeah,
Scrum daily stand-up is to provide the Scrum team an opportunity to discuss progress, announce daily commitments, and identify impediments which should be cleared by the Scrum Master.
absolutely right. Now, all this theory mentioned can be explained in simple words, that is 8 and impediments. We call it as 8 and impediments, just for you to remember. So in this meeting, what happens? First of all, everybody stands up. So remember, it's a very practically, I would say, implemented meeting. So you are standing in a meeting room, or if you're standing at your desk, if you all are sitting closely and together, and we provide update on what have you already finished, what have you already completed as a work, in the past 8 hours. That means in earlier days, what are you planning to finish in the next 8 hours? Okay, that means what will be your upcoming work in the next 8 hours, or that means that is for the today. And what are the impediments, roadblocks, issues that you might be facing? When I say you, that means everybody, every one of you. Okay. So what happens is, when you ask this kind of questions in this meeting, everyone, starting from developer to tester to designer to even Scrum Master, those Scrum Master is closely working with you on this, but they understand that, okay, what is happening in the team, who is working on what, and in case if anybody has any doubts, they would know that, okay, if somebody is getting stuck on something, if somebody has any clarification, if they need some clarification, and if other team member might have faced that challenge or that issue earlier, they would be in a position to help them. So what happens is, when I put my issue out in the group, or mention that if somebody else has also already faced that issue, or they have solved that kind of problem in earlier work experience, they mention that, okay, we can work on this offline. That means in this meeting where you are kind of putting your problem, you also get a prospective or prospecting prospect solution coming from someone saying, okay, we can discuss this offline. I've already experienced this kind of scenario and we can work on this. So I'm not saying that you're getting solution then and there, but you're getting offered a would be or could be solution which you can work on with that person later, or offline. Everybody with me on this?
Yes.
Yes, that is one of the main reasons why we mention about our roadblocks or our issues. Okay. Now, who are the attendees of this ceremony? Anyone? Yeah, go ahead. Yes, Sushita, go on. Start.
Okay.
As you
Scrum
unmuted.
Master and production team, product owner and outside stakeholder or optional.
Okay. So what we are saying, as this is a day-to-day, everyday meeting, We are not expecting everyone to be a part of it, but yes, as the core member, as the actual grassroots members, your development team is essential along with the Scrum Master because he or she helps them in every step of the work. So yes, they are mandatory, or they are the people who actually attend this meeting, and product owner and Scrum Master are optional. Now, let me tell you a practically experience scenario. In my earlier experiences, product owners are generally given multiple projects. Okay, they are not dedicated to only one project because they are of very senior level and they have a very good view of business. And because they are not engaged in every day-to-day activity, they can be related. They can be appointed to multiple applications, multiple projects. So for daily stand-up meetings, most of the times product owners are not present because they have other things or other I would say responsibilities to take care of than attending daily scrum. But yes, they are there in the first of all sprint planning meeting, but this meeting is kind of optional for them, product owner as well as other stakeholders, because see, it is like especially internal working of the team. There is no result will come out which would be presented, so hence they are not they are like basically they are optional. So what are the tips and tricks of this? Yeah, we'll go one by one quickly. It's easy. Yeah, please go ahead, unmute. Guys, the response time is quite delayed, I would say. Yeah, go ahead. Nobody wants to read? Yeah, Suchita.
Yeah, the entire Scrum's team plus certain manager
No, we are
managers.
reading tips and tricks. Tips and
Oh,
tricks
okay, okay.
of daily scrum. Here,
Be sure the team can see each other. If you are remote, use video conferencing tool.
easy to understand. Everybody needs to be together. If you're not together, if you can't see each other physically, we have to ensure that we look at each other. We can see each other while discussion, and have to have a video conferencing like Zoom, Link, anything that you
Yes,
have in your organization.
yes,
Yeah. Next
yes.
point. Yeah, you can continue, Suchita. All 3 points. Go ahead.
Yeah. Don't let this meeting turn into a verbal status report.
Yeah, so we are saying we have to stick to the three agendas that we discussed. What have we worked on? What are you planning to work on? If there is any issues, any roadblocks, we have to mention that. So we have to ensure that we only stick to these points. Okay.
Yes.
Don't go into extreme details, which is not required. Next point.
Encourage team members to get together after the daily scrum to discuss any items that require additional conversation.
Yes, this goes without saying. As we mentioned, if anybody is having any issue and somebody else might have a solution or some response to that, so they are encouraged to come together, sit together, oppose this meeting. We call it as discussing offline. When we are in a meeting, it's kind of assuming it's online. So when somebody needs some extra discussion, we say they can take it offline. When we say offline, that means while your daily course of work, we can actually come and discuss on that. So we encourage team members to go ahead and discuss this post this meeting, whatever issues they have, or if they have any solution, or if they have any suggestion, whatever it is, we encourage them to have a detailed discussion post this meeting, but not in this meeting. Okay. Yeah. Last
Yes.
point.
Do not let this meeting go longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, I realized I was on mute. So yes, this goes without saying. This meeting should not extend beyond 15 minutes because as you must have already understood, this is a stand-up meeting. Everybody is standing. So physically you would be in I would say a discomfort if you continue to stand during this meeting. Okay. So Daily Scrum, I think in every discussion about Scrum, we had, shared some of the points. So now we just covered this in detail. Any doubt in Daily Scrum, guys? Daily Scrum stand-up meeting, anybody, Ajibu, Neeti, Abhishek, Sucheta,
No.
everybody okay with this?
Yes.
Clear?
Yes.
Super. Yeah. Now next, go to next and yet important point.
Ensure
That
that
is,
any
yeah, sprint review. So what is the purpose of the sprint review? Anyone? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can proceed. So the
Yeah,
purpose
yeah,
of the
go ahead.
sprint review is to showcase the work completed over the course of the sprint, gather feedback from stakeholders to inspect and adapt the product.
Yeah. So what are we saying? As the name suggests, review. Okay, we are showcasing, we are displaying our work that has been completed to the stakeholders, especially to the customer or client at this level. So what we are saying that everything that we have completed especially the sprint goal during this last sprint or during the current sprint, that we kind of present, that we show to the customer, and we gather feedback. We take feedback from them that okay, is it as per the requirements, or do we need any changes, or what are your opinion about this, what basically feedback. So you present what you have already worked upon to the client, and you wait for their response. So are they happy? If they're happy, they'll be like, okay, great, this is going in the correct direction. This is absolutely on track. If not, then yes, they will come up and say, no, we need these changes. We need to work on this. You have to focus on this, or this is not as per the expectation. So what not? So whatever it is, you put forward as a baby, like, okay, we have completed this, and we have put in, as we had discussed in the sprint planning meeting, this was a sprint goal and we are able to achieve this. That is what we are showcasing, or we are presenting. So it's a review. That means we are presenting something, and as a third party, they are checking in, giving the feedback. So it sounds as simple as that, but this is one of the crucial ceremonies, because everything boils down to this, that whatever work you complete during the sprint, that needs to be shown and presented to the team, and they are try to give their feedback, or try that they are in a position to understand, okay, the team has worked on this during this sprint, and and they will then give their opinion about, okay, is this sprint goal or is this development as per the requirement, as per the expectation, or it is correct, or they need any changes, or if they're happy, they can share, or if they are not, they're unhappy, they are not uh, satisfied with what you have worked upon, they can share that way also. And it goes both the ways, right? Because customer has every right to give their honest feedback, unless and until we get the accurate feedback, we can't work on it properly. Okay. And all the feedback that we receive from the customer, that needs to be noted, that needs to be documented, and in the upcoming sprint, that has to be worked upon. Always remember. So it's not only that they give you some comments and feedback and you forget about it. No, those are actionable feedbacks. Okay, so you have to work on that. Everybody with me on this? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so can I request someone to read the attendance, please?
I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which one is the?
Attendees.
At, oh, okay. Scrum Master and the production team, product owner, and outside stakeholder are optional.
Neeti, we are discussing sprint review, just to emphasize, and you
Oh,
just
okay.
read the attendees of daily scrum. I think this is a little confusing for everyone. So basically, this goes like this. Okay, this is a horizontally reading I would say content. This is not vertical. So for sprint review, these are the attendees. Go ahead.
The entire Scrum team plus the certain managers, stakeholder, customers, and other developers.
So what are we saying? Entire Scrum team. Like when we say entire Scrum team, that means development team, product owner, Scrum Master, everyone who is a part of this team, plus certain managers. Now, you may ask why certain managers? Who are these people? So there are some people, some managers who are actively involved in the project, who who are overseeing this project, who are interested in these outcome of the project, who might be assigned to supervise this project. Maybe certain delivery manager or maybe certain account managers from whose fund the project is getting funded. The maybe what some vertical heads, anyone, any senior person or personals who are responsible or who have been given some responsibility towards this project, they are definitely gonna attend this. Stakeholders, yes, some of the stakeholders which are interested in your project, inside within your organizations, or maybe some other managing directors, maybe some other managers, other product owners from other teams. They might be interested, or if someone wants to learn something from your project, or somebody is been assigned to understand your project, they also can definitely join this. And other developers who might have helped or who might be a shadow resource or who might be just interested to understand. Maybe sometimes what happens when somebody is new, for their understanding or knowledge transfer, KT process and all, we ask these resources, these employees to attend such meetings so they know what is happening, or they at least understand how the meetings are carried on and know what is discussed. So yes, we need all these people to attend this meeting. Now let us understand the tips and tricks. Yeah, 3 point. Can someone go ahead and read this, please? Go ahead.
Yeah, I can go ahead, I guess.
Anyone? Yeah.
So the tips and tricks for the sprint review are: ensure that any outside stakeholders know where they need to be when. Get the room prepped.
Yes. So now this is one of the most important aspect, and this is the whole and sole responsibility of the Scrum Master. So when are we saying get the room prepped and everybody should know where the team is, it might sound very silly right now reading this way, but in reality, it's a very important aspect. So imagine you would have maybe like 15 to 20 people, like your Scrum team, and your own team would be around 7 to 8 people roughly. So apart from that, internal stakeholders, senior managers, involved, some developers from other teams, and then the customer coming in. So roughly around say 15 odd plus minus people. So you would need first of all a conference room for that. And when I say conference room, that means you should have enough room in that capacity. You should have enough big room for that. There should be projector, there should be a whiteboard, there should be supplies for writing on the board, there should be a projector, ensuring that if you're presenting something, that should be visible. There should be when a pen and pencil available for meeting or team members to jot down the feedback. Again, in case if anybody is not available or not able to attend physically, they should be given an a Zoom link or some online link where they can attend us via video conferencing. So that is also needs to be available. Again, as you're connecting to your laptop or your machine connection via that conference room needs to be also checked. Okay, if this meeting might go for a decent duration, so some at least water or some basic snacks, some biscuits or sandwiches or anything that the people are comfortable with, that has to be offered. So these things definitely might sound very minute and very, I would say, basic, but it is essential that we have to get this done. That's why it's called as the room needs to be prepped. Okay, in simple words. Next point, next 2 points. Mm-hmm. It's an important point, guys.
Yeah, the production team should not feel like they're defending their work, prep to ensure they're able to shine. And
Yes.
lastly,
So now many a
oh, okay.
time, yeah, yeah, go ahead. That goes together. Last point.
Yeah, capture actionable feedback as items in the backlog.
Yes. Now I will take the last point first. So we are saying capture actionable feedback as a as an item in the backlog. So that means while we are presenting, showcasing our work, the customer comes up with some suggestion or some changes that needs to be worked upon. Okay, that needs to be taken up. We have to write it down that it will be our future product backlog item. I know that needs to be worked upon. So every feedback, every response needs to be mentioned. It doesn't go unnoticed. That should not be ignored. Okay, and it's not only noticed and jotted down. It is also added to the product backlog item as an to be actionable work. Okay, to be actionable work item. And prior to this, we just heard Ajib stating that this meeting in this meeting we have to have an open mind. Imagine you're presenting something and the customer is not so happy and they're giving their feedback. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Okay, as a team we have to accept that wholeheartedly and with respect that okay, the customer has this response to this, but they should not be defensive about their work. You should not go in a very closed mindset and say, no, no, this is what you had asked for. No, we're right and we have developed properly. No, this never goes. Okay, this never happens. Always remember in a professional setup, your customer is the king. Okay, and there is a very funny phrase, but which is generally true and or followed is that the customer is always right. Okay, I know it sounds cliche, but that is how it is followed. So jokes apart, or maybe on a serious note, though we have to respect to the customer and we have to listen to them. We don't have to be defensive, or we don't have to have that regressive mode of discussion wherein you're denying or you are not in a open state of mind to understand what the customer is saying. No, we have to be very realistic and practical and open to their feedback and ensure that whatever feedback we get, we have to be, I would say, mature enough to jot it down and not to be defensive about it. And whenever there is some, I would say, achievement or the points that where the customer is happy or we are successfully succeeded their expectation, please take pride in that. Shine on that. Take I would say a moment to celebrate that, or give credit to the respective team members, or as a team enjoy that moment. Okay, we have achieved this, we were able to finish this work and we have completed as per the customer requirements, so feel happy about it. So two things: if you've done something great, please take a moment to enjoy that, take the credit, be feel good. Again, if something is not as per the track and customer is not so happy about it, still be mature, be responsible, take the credit, take the ownership of that, yes, and be open to suggestions and work on that in the next sprint. Make sense? Everyone, any doubt in this?
No.
Yeah,
Sprint review?
I have a question.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy, go ahead.
What's the duration for the sprint review? Because I know for the stand up it's 15 minutes,
Yes,
and
yes.
for the
So
sprint
again,
planning, okay, yeah.
yeah, yeah, fine,
I know
fine.
I
Valid
know for the
question.
sprint planning it's 8 hours for a 4 weeks
Mm-hmm.
sprint. So say for example we have a 4 week sprint, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what's the duration for a spring review? And also, how often is it being held? Is it only held once for the 4 weeks, or is it held every week for the 4 week duration?
Okay. So first of all, to answer your last question first, sprint review happens at the end of every sprint. Okay. So if you have 10 sprints, there would be 10 sprint review. Okay. And so it will happen during the end or towards the end of every sprint. Before you deliver the actually hand over the work to the customer, the sprint review will happen. So that is the sprint review, I would say, cycle, or that is a sprint review occurrence after every sprint.
Okay.
Second thing, theoretically speaking, okay, theoretically speaking, generally there is 1 hour for 1 week. Like if you have a sprint of 1 week, so the discussion would be for 1 hour. If you have a sprint of 2 weeks, the discussion could be for 2 hours. But then again, it is theoretical. In real life, it need not follow that way.
Okay.
So, and by the way, it is very, I would say, practically also it's very not feasible. So generally we kind of dedicate at least 2 hours per hour, sorry, per duration. So basically, if you have a 2 week sprint, roughly the discussion can go to 3 to 4 hours, roughly. So instead of giving 1 week to each week, 1 hour to each week. So theoretically we are saying, if you have a sprint of 1 week, then give 1 hour, 2 weeks, then 2 hours, 3 weeks, then 3 hours, 4 weeks, then 4 hours. But it is very strict and it is honestly not feasible. So, in real life, in practical terms, we generally denote 2 hours for 1 week. So, if you have a sprint of 1 week, then minimum 2 hours, or if you have a sprint of 2 weeks, which is a very popular duration, then we'll have a discussion for around 4 hours. Again, it is and vice versa. For maybe 4 weeks, you might have a discussion of eight. So imagine 8 hours. So you have work for entire month. When we say 4 weeks is roughly 20 days of work, that would require some time, right? I'm not saying it will require complete 8 hours, but we have to give enough time. There will be some, tea break in between. There would be some questions asked. There should be some uh, concerns raised, or you yourself will take some time to present. So roughly for 2 hours, it's 2 weeks sprint, it's generally 4 hours. But again, depending on the discussion, on the course of, uh, I would say communication that happens. Does this answer your question, Ajibu?
Yes, sure, sure. Thank you very much. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, welcome. Now let us move to the next or last or second last ceremony. And I'll just invite Gaurav for the same. Gaurav, are you there? Would you like to start from here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, Prerna, I can
Okay.
take this up.
Thank you. Over to you, Gaurav. I'll just stop share. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So when you are learning this about the sprint ceremonies, I have a quick question. What is your mindset over here? You are learning, keeping yourself in what position? You are learning as a what? And the question is to all of
Master,
you. Yeah, go ahead. Come again.
Scrum Master,
Scrum Master. All right. What else? Ajibu, your answer?
Agile Practitioner,
Agile practitioner, Abhishek. Okay. What about you, Ajibu?
BA, business analyst.
Business analyst. And what about you, Suchita? You as a what position keeping in mind you are learning this? Suchita, you're there? Knock, knock, knock.
Product owner.
Product owner. All right. And how about to you, Niti?
Sorry, I didn't got your question.
The question is that you are learning for the sprint ceremonies and you are learning these ceremonies, keeping yourself which position in mind?
Uh, Scrum Master.
Scrum Master. All right. Thank you so much for your answer. Mm, now listen, why did I ask you this question? As this also follow Ajibu's question. So when Ajibu asked that how long the ceremony is going to happen, and absolutely nailed by Prerna that theoretically it sounds like 1 hour in the review, and there are some time marked for sprint retrospective as well. Um, Theoretically, it is said like this 1 hour each ceremony, but in reality, it doesn't happen. But in case you are as a product owner or business analyst listening to this, then you should not bother about it. However, when you are agile practitioner or scrum master, you should be knowing one thing very, very sure, because we are going to learn about sprint retrospective, that be it whatever ceremony, okay, you are going to be the timekeeper, you are going to facilitate, and you have to make things time boxed, and making sure you are not overlapping. So this should be your intent, and you are going to systemize it accordingly. Is it clear to everyone? Each ceremony I'm talking about, not about
Yes,
any.
yes.
Yeah. So you are going to have the intent like that and systemize yourself like that and facilitate it accordingly. Now, the last but not the least, the one ceremony, what do you read here, everyone? Which ceremony we are talking about? You being unmute
Perspective.
and
Sprint
answering.
retrospective.
Sprint retrospective, right? And what do you understand by retrospective? Who can tell me?
I can go ahead.
Yeah, Nitin?
It's all about like whatever you have discussed and what improvement we can go further for the next sprint.
Yeah.
Um, Discussing with all the team members and getting the overview out of, yeah.
Hmm. So this is what Niti has learned, and Niti is telling her experience. But my question still remains same, that what do you understand? What the word itself talks about? What could be the literal meaning of the word? Can you break it down?
Yeah,
Reflection.
retro means, yeah, reflection, to go back to
Mm-hmm.
um
Okay.
yes, basically reflecting on the past, something that has happened in the past.
Yeah. So can I break it down like this? Retrospect. Yeah. Yes or no? Yes or no?
So
Yes.
it's like
Yeah.
inspection, doing the
Yes,
Yeah.
inspection.
yes.
Right. Spect means look. Retro means back. Okay. In the past. Okay. Look in the
Oh,
past. What will happen when you look at the past? Either you will learn something, okay, or you will regret upon something. These only two things happen. Okay. If you are wise, you will not focus on regretting. You will focus on what? Learning. Yes or no? Do you all agree?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly, this is what happens in retrospective meeting. Your focus has to be wiser, and you learn out of it. And learn means, does it mean only learn? Now, Scrum Master job is quite tough. Okay. Um, in many cases, in many organization, it may happen that you are forced to skip the retro, because few people may think, first of all, you need to understand that you are maturing in your organization with the agile. The adaptation of agile itself may go tough. Your job is to facilitate every single person with the agility, making sure their mindset is being the agile. Okay. Many times when you will go to interview, interviewer may ask you that, okay, what is important, being agile or doing agile? Okay. Have you ever come across such question? Okay. And you tell me, what is more important, being agile or uh, doing agile?
Being agile.
Yeah, the answer, the wise answer comes like this. And a question follows, why? Because at certain places you do certain activity, you just literally follow what Scrum Guide says or Agile values and principles says. Then you start doing those activity you don't want to skip. So when you are saying that being agile is important, then why you are forcing yourself to do certain activity by all the ceremonies like a sprint retrospective? Can we not skip this? That's the question. If we are running short of time, because many people see that retrospective may be the time waster. Okay. Those who have not been the agile mindset, they look at this retrospective is just a waste of time. You may also get agreed to this if you are not core agile practitioner. Okay, fine, everyone comes up and they discuss about what went well, what did not go well, what we could have done separate differently, where we can improve. So these feedback we can receive informally also, and we can continue. Do you all agree that may happen? Yes or no? You ran an event, say for example birthday for your child, birthday for your son or daughter, and you get all the good feedback, and the family member, they give you some critic as well, right? That may happen. Yes or no? Do you all agree? It may happen.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So family member can give you some critic, and they may say that if you're dad or mom, that dad or mom, so next time we are going to do like this, okay, or do like this, or do like that. You may get agree, right? That's not a
yes,
big deal. Imagine in similar manner you have delivered a project. The project here, what I gave you the example of the birthday, but here software you are going to deliver. Of course people will give you feedback, right? So how you are going to take those feedback? Okay, you would in the similar mindset, like earlier you were dad or mom, and you think that okay, a family member has given certain feedback for improvisation for the next year birthday. Likewise, are you going to receive the similar feedback from your team members for next sprint?
yes,
The attitude may happen same, because you have not understood the weightage of these ceremonies. And that's when in many of many of organization, even though they are growing in agile, okay, even though they are growing as an agile over here, what may happen is that they may tend to skip these retrospective meeting. Okay, but when if you say being agile and doing agile, what should happen? See, here is no question of answer of yes or no, or wrong or right. But if you are being agile, considering whatever I have spoken so far, okay, should you skip retrospective or not?
Yes, we
Depending
can
upon
skip it. Yes.
we can skip it. Okay.
yes,
Others?
yes.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Niti? What do you want to say for this answer?
No, we have it should be a mandatory.
Okay. So if you are being agile, and if your approach is that it should be mandatory, it means you are more focusing towards following the agile practices and more focused towards doing. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes. Sure.
now onwards, all the projects, like everyone want to go with retrospective and they are following agile methodology only.
Yeah, everyone is following, but have you seen that in some of the organization they skip as well?
Uh, yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't know, but I work with all
Yeah.
agile projects.
Okay.
Waterfall was like long time back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But few companies still go with waterfall model.
Yeah. So why I'm asking you this question? Because these may be asked in the interview, and that's the reason I'm telling you. So the quick answer is that what Niti is telling is right, because she has been agile practitioner. Even me, myself being the agile practitioner, I'm not going to skip this retrospective. This holds a very crucial role for me, because this is the originate. This originates multiple correction. Those could be part of the next sprint planning. Okay. Then when I say that, now aren't you focusing more towards the doing part instead of being? Then my answer goes like this: being creates the doing by default. Okay. If you are literally being agile, you are not going to the ceremony is never going to get skipped. Agile practices never going to get skipped, because doing follows by being. Are you with me so far?
yes,
Yeah, this can lead to the birth of sprint planning, and that's the reason you're not going to skip the retrospective. This gives the further output of highest level of collaboration. Okay, and only well collaborated team can result into the right delivery. With me so far?
Yes.
I'm not imposing. I want you to realize this. Are you able to relate with me, whatever I'm telling? Abhishek, Niti, Ajibu,
Yes.
Suchita. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and great. So, how it happens? It happens is that, so there are multiple ways to run retrospective. Okay. So, generally, in my organization, I used to use Mural. Mural is one of the software. Okay. In Mural, there are multiple ways to run retrospective where you ask certain question. Who facilitate this ceremony?
Scrum
Re-
Master.
Scrum Master.
Absolutely right. Scrum Master. Okay. How long this has to go, Ajibu?
15 minutes usually they
Yeah,
take.
say 15 minutes.
Retrospective, I'm talking about, not daily stand up.
No
Uh,
specific time limit, I guess.
Oh, which was, I'm
no,
not
there is
sure
a time
really, but
box.
4 hours. It
No,
depends on the duration of the sprint, right? So, if we are doing a 4 week sprint, should it be
Mm-hmm.
um um 8 hours, same time
Okay.
duration as the review? For a
Mm-hmm.
When
4 week for a 4 week time box, can we say 8 hours sprint retrospective?
it's
No.
always alternative after one sprint. So it's half an hour.
Yeah. So depending upon the cadence, what you have decided of your sprint. So it if it is varying from 1 to 4, the retrospective goes divide by 2 in terms of
mm,
hours. Okay. So if it is 1 hour, in 30 minutes you can, sorry, if it is 1 week, in 30 minutes you can wrap up. If it is of 4 weeks, you can wrap up within 2 hours max. Okay, because you're discussing every single thing. Okay, you as a Scrum Master will be having the visibility of your backlog completed items. Okay, whatever were there in the backlog already, now those have moved to done. Okay, if you remember the Kanban board, for example, you started where? From to do to doing, and now things which has moved into done. Okay. Now you will be doing the retrospective for that them. Yes or no?
yes.
Yeah. Now, while you are doing the retrospective, these items should be visible. Okay. These item will every single item will have the work log in front of it. Okay. Ensure that whether you have extracted these items into Excel sheet, or you have made it presentable in front of the entire team member who all attend this. So attendees are Scrum Master and production team. Product owner is optional. Why product owner is optional? Can someone answer me? Why product owner is optional in this ceremony, in sprint retrospective? Why this guy product owner should be optional?
Because the requirements have already been completed and the customer has already made their input in the previous ceremony, which was the sprint review.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
he's not actually input is not actually required from the PO with the
Okay.
retrospective, because it is actually a meeting wherein everybody wants to learn what they did well or what they did not do well to
Hmm.
implement on the next sprint, right?
Right. So great, good insight. Thank you, Ajibu, for answering. So now one thing, because here you are just learning, product owner is optional. In reality, wherever the agile is scaling, okay, agile is well matured, agile is well defined in some of the organization. This product owner is just not optional. This is sometimes restricted in the retrospective meeting. Now tell me why they are restricted into the retrospective meeting. Why do you think should be restricted, product owner, especially for this sprint retrospective meeting? Why they make such arrangement that making sure product owner is not participating into it? See, optional I can agree, but restriction is
Be-
a bit serious.
because they are more dealing with the stakeholders and the customers. So, uh, because the backlog items are not fulfilled, or there can be a discussion in that meeting that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, based
So,
on the responsibility, they may be restricted. One thing that I am understanding, based on upcoming responsibility as per Unity, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So they need to prepare for the upcoming sprint and all. So this is one of the reason. But that should not restrict them. Okay. What should be the another answer? Okay. One answer what Niti has given. That because of responsibility, they may also not to choose to participate. Um, Okay, so they may also choose not to participate. That's number one. Number two is that there should be one more reason. Because tell me, in retrospective meeting, who else other than product owner, who else is participating?
developers, QA, uh,
Everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, every ground of level staff is participating. Now, what we are going to discuss into this? What we are going to discuss?
What
Yeah,
went
the team is
well?
going to inspect itself.
The three
Yeah,
Everybody,
questions. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah. What went well? Okay. What
What
did
we can do better.
okay, okay. What went well, what did not go well, okay? What did not go well, and what we can improve, right?
right.
And
What
kudos to
we
the team.
Yeah. So there are multiple ways. So these are the few question, and of course the kudos to team. So second is that there are multiple techniques to which we call it. There is another technique is that sad, mad, glad. Okay, what you are sad about, what you are mad about, what you are glad about. Okay. Then another one is okay. Uh, so there are multiple techniques. There is one technique which is island technique. So in that you decide that what to continue, what not to continue, what to drop and all. So there are means five, six top-notch methods are there, but everything is in pointing towards improvement. Okay, that you can incorporate into next sprint. Why product owners are not allowed? Because the ground level staff may not feel comfortable in front of product owner and may not contribute towards the correction. Okay, and that's the reason Scrum Master or Agile ways wants everyone to be the spokesperson for their own opinion, and everyone should be participating into the retrospective meeting very, very clearly. Okay, and everyone should feel like expressing their point of view. With me so far?
Yes.
Yes, no, yeah. And
Yes,
that's
yes.
when product owners are not generally allowed in this meeting. And here, one thing is very important. You, as a Scrum Master, uh, you need to enlighten this meeting. Make sure that everyone is lightened up, feeling really light-hearted instead of the creating hard feeling. Why it may happen? Because it may turn, if you are not cautious enough, you know to this pointing fingers and playing the blame game. Okay, you need to get rid of it. You are not here to point fingers or do the blame game because of this that happened. In fact, we could have done this way so that we could have reached faster towards delivery, or we may have gained 20% uh, extra strong confidence in favor of the delivery. Likewise, you are going to sailing or facilitating these entire ceremonies, right? There are different games you can ask your team to play. So say for example, Mural is one of the software wherein everyone is going to talk about, okay, tell me your point, what you are sad about, tell me your point, what you are mad about, tell me your point, what you are glad about. In case people are not feeling comfortable and it is almost going to turn into finger pointing, you can say that you vote it out or type into these boxes anonymously. Okay, you need not to be the spokesperson of your own opinion publicly. Okay, you talk about what exactly you want to contribute, and towards the end there should be one stack where these things will be contributing to generate the action item. Okay, and when things are getting generated into action item, you are making sure as a responsible scrum master, can you translate into Jira items? Jira items, when I say, it means that can you create certain task about it? Yeah, and making sure you are linking this with any epic which has been prioritized already by product owner. Now you would say that how come this about the next sprint will be prioritized by product owner? We are still in the current sprint. Can it happen, guys? Do you think? See, we are talking about l- get the corrective action item, create a Jira item out of it, and those Jira items should be marked with the epics, which are potential upcoming epic, potential next sprint goal. Can it be possible that we are ending the sprint with the retrospective, but we still have some of the epics already ready for the upcoming sprint? We
Yes.
have identified.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Where you will identify these things, where product owner will identify when they will do that.
Backlog grooming.
Absolutely
Backlog
right, Abhishek.
refinement.
Thank you so much. Yes, you are absolutely right. So backlog grooming. So, but yeah, you are right. In backlog grooming, we can have this, extra epics groomed. Okay, prioritize. But why do we do groom those extra epics? Okay, extra epics into the backlog refinement call. Why do we do that? Because our focus area in backlog refinement or backlog grooming is to focus toward the current sprint and refine those are ambiguous or unclear into the current sprint. Why we will focus on those which we are knowing that we are going to do it later in the next sprint. Why it should be done in the previous sprint itself? That's the another question. See why I'm asking this question. You should be strongly prepared to answer those query into your interview as well. Who can give me the answer? Why we should be focusing on the next epics too?
For prioritization.
Okay, of course you are prioritizing. That's the reason you have called out the backlog refinement call and discussing for the current sprint, which are more of the priority. Why you are spending even time to do for the next sprint? So that's a major question. What do you think, guys? Anyone here?
What's the question again, sir?
The question is, we are in the current sprint. We are doing the backlog refinement. For me, the current sprint is more important, and whatever the product owner has prioritized for the current owner, for the current sprint, we are going to refine those epics. Okay, those user stories first. Okay, but
Right.
why we are going to do it for the next sprint?
So as to look ahead basically
Okay, look ahead.
Continuous
for
continuous
visibility.
iteration,
Yeah.
CI.
Continuous iteration. Yeah. Okay. Continuous improvement. Save the time and lot many others things. That you are right. And with this, we will always be ahead of the time and identify which is something which is called as backlog health. What it is called as?
Log
Backlog
health.
Backlog
health.
health.
Backlog health says that we can only identify the backlog health well when our current capacity, we will be talking about capacity or say velocity. Okay. Capacity or velocity we are going to talk about. Okay. It defines, backlog health defines that at any given point of time, how many numbers of story point are ready. Okay, story points are ready. What is story point? And can anyone tell? What is
It's
story
a
point?
metric associated with the complexity or effort
Okay.
for a task.
Yeah. So story point is a unit. It's a measurement unit for the complexity identification for any user stories. Okay. Or in a nutshell, in a very simple language, story point is the unit for user stories. Okay. That defines the
Yes.
complexity. Uh, yeah. So at any given point of time, how many story points of work are ready uh, against the committed story points? It means that what should happen, the agility says that, agile practices says that, okay, that you cannot find in the scrum guide, that if you have identified that every single sprint, on an average, historically, you have delivered 20 story point of user story, say for example, then you should be ready in the next sprint the twice of it. Okay, it means that your target should be of having a 40 story point of the work already. Okay, if it is, when you identify the percentage of it, it says that if it is greater than 80%, okay, if your uh, total groomed user stories, okay, groomed user stories story point are greater than 80%, it means your backlog health is green. Okay, and if it is less than 80%, so yeah, if it is, okay, your groomed is less than 80%, it means that it is in red. Okay, it simply means that your backlog health should be always green, and to maintain that, you do this in advance. You will groom the extra user stories in the backlog grooming call. Is it clear? Is
Yes.
it clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And that if it is not happening, you can discuss this into this ceremony, sprint retrospective. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Why we are not doing this? What is stopping us from doing that? Okay, you can play the different games into this. Ask multiple question. It should not be monotony. Okay, you can have a lot of fun into that, and make sure the actionable suggestion is captured and tracked well. Any questions so far? Are you understanding well the importance of retrospective and why we are
Yes.
not going to skip it as an agilist? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any questions so far? Yes, no?
No.
No.
No. No.
Okay, brilliant. I'm glad you don't have any question. So now, the last but not the least, it says that fifth is not mentioned anywhere. The fifth sprint, done sprint or cancel, done goes in the sprint done chart to release the product increment from product backlog list. It means that it is also telling that when you are done with every single sprint, make sure you are ready to close them. Okay, when you are ready to close them, it means that every single item which has been discussed, which I was giving you the example through the Kanban board, has moved to the done itself. Okay, now when you will go to the Scrum guide talks about that 353 rules. What it talks about?
Three
The
five
Five
three.
older,
rules.
yeah. What are 353 rules? So three represent to what? The accountability, okay, to which we call, earlier we used to call at roles, right? What are five events, right? And this three is what? Artifacts. What are these artifacts? So these artifacts are sprint goal. Okay, yeah, someone want to say? Abhishek, what are these artifacts? you know
Uh, Product backlog,
yes, it's a product backlogs. What else?
sprint goals or sprint backlog, and
Mm-hmm.
increment.
increment. Absolutely right. So these are three artifacts. What happens is that when we have very well known that these are the four ceremonies very important what you have learned. Okay, the fifth is also called as done, but in reality, what Scrum Guide is talking about, last time I have talked, that it talks about the sprint in itself. Although you don't do anything over here, no other ceremony, but when you decide the cadence with the stakeholder, that itself is called as a ceremony, and that becomes the part of the sprint. So sprint planning, then sprint daily stand up, and then sprint review, and then sprint retrospective. Okay, and with the retrospective you manage to see that everything has moved into done. With me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
any questions so far?
No.
No.
Okay. Great. So I think looking at the time, I should take a call to take a pause over here. But yeah, before we wrap up, let me ask you one question. Uh, whether you were able to relate, connect, understand, and what do you feel like saying? Let me ask you, Suchita, what do you feel like saying? One word.
Knowledgeable.
Knowledgeable,
Clear.
Abhishek.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it was informational. Thanks for the session, sir.
Info.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Information.
thank you. Thank you. Ajibu, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it was dedicated.
Dedicated. Thank you so much. Niti, did you also get any value? What do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it's up to the mark and
Okay,
point to point. Yeah.
point to point. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. We are going to talk to you again tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Good night.